Okay, distance control and pitching, definitely a shot saver. So many of you just freewheel it, use feel. I want to get a little bit more mechanical when you do your distance control. What I want you to do is practice in the way I'm going to show you now, and then we can add layers to that. But it's important we know how far we're hitting it. So I use a rangefinder, so a laser, whichever way you want to call it. This one is a Mileseey one. I find it really good value, and also gives vibration on the pin and option of slope on, slope off. And this one's only £120, comes in a nice packaging, sticks on your golf bag. It also has got the magnet, you can stick it to a golf cart if you're using that. But the whole point of what the story is basically is I've got exact yardage for all these shots to the flag, including slope. And what I've done is gone 50 yards, 45 yards, 40 yards, 35, and 30 yards, and all those playing. I haven't counted for the wind. That's anything else I would do slightly into the breeze here today. So I might be adding a couple more yards per shot if I wanted to look at the breeze. But what I'm going to do now is work out the length of swing I need to hit those particular distances. And I'm going to give you an example of that, and then obviously it would take a little bit of calibration to wind that in. So what I personally like is length of swing. So basically in pitching, if you have the right smash factor, the speed of swing gives you the distance. If I swing 45 mile an hour, I hit 45 yards. What I want you to try and train is length of swings give you certain speed, and we try and keep the tempo roughly the same. So this one's a 50-yard shot. So for a 50-yard shot, I know I'm going to be around about rib high. So I would want to feel that my left arm gets to rib high and my trail arm gets to about rib high, and that should give me around a 50-yard shot. Now, I can measure that if I want to do then on TrackMan and see what speed it is, and then basically start to train speed from that, knowing length of swing equals speed, which equals distance. And that's what we're really here for, is to get that calibration. On a side note to this is if I feel I'm swinging to rib high and I actually swing further, that doesn't matter. It's what I can reproduce on the golf course. So it's important that it's what I feel I'm doing rather than what I am actually doing. Let's give one a go. So the stance is going to be narrow, the weight pressure is going to be on the front foot. Other than that, I'm going to feel it's my normal pitching action. So in terms of tempo, it's going to be what I would call slow, fast, slow. And I'm going to try and swing length of swing, as we said. The weight will pretty much feel like it's staying on the lead foot. It is, however, going to be moving ever so slightly towards the trail side, but not as much as a full shot. Let's give one a go. So what I feel is rib high. Well, that one there, just ever so slightly short of my intended target. So I might feel I have to calibrate that and go a little bit longer with the swing length. Let's move on to another ball. So this one now is in 5 yards short, so 45 yards. And I know the first one was ever so slightly short, so I could probably keep this the same length, and it might give us the outcome we want. Yeah, that one was absolutely spot on. So I'm ever so slightly out with my initial calibration. So let's get stuck into how we can try and now make this consistent. So I'm now back at my original spot, so I'm back at a 50-yard shot. Again, I could continue going through those balls, refining the distance. But I want to show you really is how you can work out the length of swing and go from there. So if you take an alignment rod and you place it in your trail arm like so, so to get to that rib high swing, obviously I'm making contact with that rod. And that's basically what I want you to do. I want you to make a swing now from the same location, same set, trying to keep the same tempo. And when we feel we make contact, then we want to swing down and through. And that's a way of getting us the same length swing every single time. And then basically what I want you to do is work out when you do that, how far you hit that pitch. That one there, again, very similar to my first shot, just slightly short of the hole. That one's probably about 8 foot short. That was a better contact than the first one I hit from here. So I know if I do this length swing from 45 yards, it's going to be bang on. So for a 50-yard shot, I'd want to go probably to what I would call chest high. So I would go chest high, rib high, belly button high, hip high, mid-thigh high, and knee height for different distances. And you're probably going to lose about 5 yards per segment. And also you could go up to chest high for one more. So if I had a 55-yard shot with a 58-degree wedge, that would be more like my shoulder height swing. Okay, key messages. Measure, don't guess. Use the rangefinder as such. I'll put the link to my one down below. You can get it from Amazon. From there, calibrate what you actually do. Use something to help calibrate how far you swing to make you accountable to know exactly what you're doing. Then own it, trust it, and take it to the golf course and have that matrix written down on a bit of paper, ideally, that would be laminated and you can stick inside your scorecard or even in your back pocket and pull it out when you've got a wedge. Measure every shot in the course, allow for the wind, allow for the slope. Obviously the slope feature that we're using today is only allowed in practice and not allowed in competitions. Just remember that. It's got a button you slide just to turn the slope feature off on this particular model. So make sure you start measuring, reflecting, taking action and achieving better scores, better golf and more fun.